All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. Since we went over the recap for the week yesterday and most of the data comes out later in the week, I thought I would focus on the main event of earnings and show you all how I swing trade small amounts of money coming into the earnings season. It's been about 5 or 6 weeks in a row of us hitting 1,000% gainers. We made that first video, how we turned $600 into $7,000. And this video will be very important, but most of these trades that I have been making, they have been below $100 on the options. And I really think because of the environment we're in now, it is creating a lot of opportunities. Options will always be difficult. It was a doozy last year and the year before that, but now since the market has moved 30% in a very short amount of time, there's a lot of names, even the ones we hit a couple of weeks ago, these names have moved a tremendous amount. It's leaving open a wide range and there's a lot of opportunity for surprisers. It is creating this opportunity to trade small, emphasis on trading small and getting big returns. So what I want to share with you guys today is all of the earnings plays that I made. I made 6 trades today that grand totaled less than $300, and now tomorrow morning we are going to have 6 earnings plays that we will be able to monitor, and I want to show you the process of how I went about it and what I plan to do over the next coming days. The best part, I did all of this live on stream, baby. YouTube.com/thisstockmarket. We are there every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific time. I wake up early till the market close, but we did this all day today, and I plan on doing this every week until the earnings run out. So here's the disclaimer. Option trading is extremely risky. Can't lose all of the financial investment. Includes no financial advice. Accusation no purpose only. Have a wonderful day. But no, in all seriousness, I want to show you what I did today. I'm not going to go over the entire strategy because that video I told you how we turned 600 into 7,000. This is the tutorial on the exact strategy. It's not like I'm charging you money for it or anything. I just want to make sure everybody knows because there's a lot of little things and I go over it in that video. And if you were watching there, we're going over all of the estimates live. I'm doing this in my head and I want you to understand everything just in case I start moving a little bit too quick. So that's where it is, and that's the first big thing I got to tell you. The second big thing is that all of the plays that I'm making, the ones I'm going to make in the future, the ones that we already made today, none of them are a lock. There is no guarantees. Believe it or not, all of these plays are expected to lose. That's why I'm trading small amounts. The only way that we make money on these plays is if something unexpected or abnormal happens. What I am doing is going to the option chain. This should be familiar for some of y'all. And I'm seeing what is priced in, and then I am determining if something outside of being priced in is an appropriate or a cheap price. That is the main element of what I am doing. So there's no real guarantee. If you're like, Josh, I need a play right now. I got 20 bucks. I got 50. I want to throw it. I need a guarantee. Unfortunately, all of these are requiring risks. That's why I am spreading my seeds on all of them and getting exposure while making sure I don't expose myself with a high dollar amount. That is the real big element. And finally, the third big thing is that none of these are day trades. So a lot of people were saying, how do I day trade with options? I don't have the 25K. Can I make these plays? And I just said, well, yeah, you could use a cash account if you want to avoid the pattern day trading on options. But here's the deal. Every one of these plays, the last 6, whether it was ARK making $300 into $5,000, whether it was Nike $100 into $1,000, the FedEx, you could go down the list, even the TSM, none of these plays were day trades. If anything, we're buying them 1 day before, 2 days before, and then you're sitting a little bit, wait for the event, and riding it through. This is one of the advantages of trading small, is that you don't really have to be all crazy monitoring them. Even if they fail, which they are expected to, they shouldn't cost you a lot, and you should be able to get a lot of exposure. And then finally, we have a bunch of earnings on the way. So Chad, I hope you're ready for this. We will go over what we did today live on on stream. We'll go over the plays. I'll even give you some reasoning because I didn't take every single play, and you'll see what we're working with. And like I'm telling you, if you are interested in any of this or you are going to be playing any of these, I better see you on stream. So with that being said, I need a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're posting these videos every night, and I already told you about this stream, baby, so we'll see you there in the morning. Run it, baby.
Walking to the couch, it's the 20 on the legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like it's a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, before going into everything you're going to need to do this, you need to watch that tutorial. And if you are on stream, I'm going to do all of this live, but I want you to see how the last couple of weeks played out. You may have remembered this one. We made a play on Citi, Delta Airlines, UNH, and Bank of America. What ended up happening? I spent $100 on Citi. I ended up selling out for only $12, took some extra money back. That one was a loss. UNH, we spent $67. We played it one way. That one was a loss. Bank of America, we spent $25, and believe it or not, I was up 100%. I decided not to take it, and I probably should have, but that was a $25 loss. And then Delta, this was the 1,000%er. I sold it right below 1,000%, and believe it or not, this thing actually ended up going, I think like 1,700%. It absolutely went crazy. I just sold out earlier on that day, but this one was the winner. So this week, we actually made $227, spent $222, and my net profit was $5. If I optimized the sell, we would have had another like $200 or $150. If I took the Bank of America, we would have got our 25 plus 50 profit, would have been another $75 there. You could have done pretty nice on this. Again, hopefully you're noticing a lot of plays, a small amount of money. The idea should be to, at the very least, break even, and then if you are able to optimize the sells there, you will make a decent amount of money, but also, too, if you let a couple of ride and they don't play out, you will get clapped on them. The next week, we made a couple of more plays. I did the Discover puts, or I think we went both ways, spent about $90. I still have these open. They're worth about like 30 or 40 now. They went up to $1.45, and it's been bouncing all over the place. We have till the end of the week, and I was like, hey, I already realized profits on TSM, so I wanted to push it because, again, you get a couple of these that could be good, but one thing I've been telling everybody live, I'm showing you how to find these, and the idea is get that exposure, not risking too much, but whether you want to go for break even, a small profit, or go for the big one, that is up to you, and let your other plays and portfolio make that decision for you. But like I'm saying, we already had a nice 1,000%er. I said, let's let this one ride even though it was going up, and we had TSM the last week, $60 sold out for $685. Now, in that case, we spent $150 that week, currently standing at a $530 net profit, $560 if I just sell out there for whatever the Discover's worth and take my money back. Not too bad, but maybe the Discover comes back up. But as you're seeing here, it even makes up for the losses last week. And remember, coming off of the other 1,000%ers, we are still well into the green riding that out, and that is always awesome. Now, as far as the plays that I made this week, I'm going to tell you the plays that I did, and we'll be able to go over all of them. Why isn't it showing you? Here, you'll be able to see all of them, and I'll explain to you the process and what we did live on stream. So today, we made a play on Verizon. They report tomorrow morning. This one is playing both ways for $20. Yes, I got a call and a put for $20. 3M, they report tomorrow morning. I did one direction on that instead of going both ways. Spent $32. GE, we played both ways, spent $108. This was the most expensive play of the day. RTX, we played both ways for $51. Procter Gamble, one way for $35, and Logitech one way for $35. So hopefully you're seeing these are plays. Some of them I'm getting exposure to play both a call and a put. The other ones I am only going in one direction, and this is what we were talking about live on stream. It's up to you. If you have a conviction in any of these plays, you could go both ways, one ways, and you could increase your amounts. The reason why I'm doing this, they're all expected to lose. I don't know what is going to happen, and I want to keep my budget lower. I'm going after the ones, if I see an option action is more expensive or cheap by using the strategy, the Ghetto Standard Deviations. I'm making a determination if it makes sense to go about it, and we are also looking at how they have moved as of recently. So I'll go over all the plays here. We'll go specifically so you could see them, but the grand total for every one of these plays for tomorrow morning is $281. Not too shabby. We need to make $281 just to break even. Anything after that will be a pure profit. So we'll see how it ends up going out. Hopefully we see you there, but now I do want you to notice a couple of things. This one should be the most obvious. All of these plays have earnings tomorrow morning, and this is how we are going to be going about it live on stream every day. The day before, I am going to go over the earnings, or at least if it's after hours, I will do it the day of. So these all report tomorrow. We made all of the plays here today. Tomorrow on stream, I'm going to go over Netflix, ISRG, Texas Instruments, Baker Hughes, Stride, and anything else reporting, and then the companies for tomorrow morning. We are going to be looking at all of those tomorrow. Then the next day, we're going to look at the ones for after hours, and then the ones in the morning, and so on and so forth. And like I'm saying, today it's only, or this week, it's about 70 companies. Next week's going to be like 150, and then the week after that is going to be 180. Now, how do you know which ones to pick? This is the difficulty, and this is where you don't have to always listen to me. I'm going after the plays that I know about. I know some of their history and how they can move, but we are going through every single earnings preview and determining if it makes sense in looking at stuff. So this is what I go over live on stream. We look at the guidance. If you go watch that pricing in video I made the other day, like I was telling you, you want to know if people have a high or low expectation. We are going over what is expected, getting an idea of the numbers, but mainly the number one thing I'm looking for, and this is what's been paying out recently, is if the stock has really moved in the last couple of months here, because that could lead or tend to an outsized reaction given how much it's moved, especially if it has a report confirming a great reaction or going opposite to what just happened. So in this case, Verizon, they're up 24% on the quarter. S&P is up only 13%. Communications are up 10%. They are an outperformer. It was pricing in around 3 to 4%, and you could take a look here. This is why I kept it small. On the Verizon play, I only played $20 to go a call and a put, and that's because besides the last earnings, this thing barely would move. Last time they surprised, they were able to move 9%. So if you're not familiar with what I'm doing here, what I did all day today, I went one by one. So you see 3M is next, and then we went to GE, then we went to RTX. I pulled up every single one of these live, and we went down the list. And after going through all of these, I would determine which ones I wanted, and I would show some of you what would be 2 standard deviations in the pricing. Even if I didn't want to play it, you had that ability to make your own decision on it. So let's go to the Verizon one, and I'll show you now. They moved up a lot. They're leading communications. They did very good, but why did I play it small, and what did I play? Let's go to the options here, or the purchases. So we did this at, 2 p.m. Eastern today. I grabbed one of the 36.50 puts for 9 cents, and then I grabbed a call for 42.50 for 11 cents. And you'll notice I grabbed one extra week of time. That is a big part of the strategy here. We are not just trying to grab the weekly, because if something does happen big, we want to make sure we are getting a little bit more time. So as far as the plays, and you could even get a little bit more of an idea of why we went with what we went here. Like I said, Verizon, it's moved a lot. It moved 9% on the last earnings. It may be able to go a little bit more crazy if they're able to continue. And like I'm saying here, with some of these plays, they've moved up 20-30% in a short amount of time since their last earnings. There's a lot of meat on the bone. If they have another good earnings and surprise, they get their recovery, it can move up a lot. That's why I wanted a call. But at the same time too, if they did bad after what they just did, they may be able to drop in. I wanted some exposure, but to pay too much money on a stock that doesn't really move all the time, I wanted to protect myself, and I didn't go big. So the put, I grabbed the next week 36.5 put, only one of these at 9 cents. And the thing I liked about it, just a couple of days ago after the little rally there, these puts were going for a lot more money. They were going for almost double. So I said, hey, that's a little bit cheaper. You go to the calls. I don't know if it's loading up. They were a little bit more expensive, so it kind of balanced out a little bit, but people were feeling optimistic. But that was the first play that we did, and then the second play of the day that we're waiting for on tomorrow is 3M. Now, this one, I grabbed a February 2nd $99 put at 32 cents. We'll load it up over here, but what you should notice about this one, and it ended up going a little bit higher there, but this one also was just going for 60 cents not too long ago, so it was at a discount, but I only went one way on 3M. The reason why, they are at a very interesting level in terms of recovery. They've kind of been pinned here, but if you looked at the calls, they were going for a lot if I wanted to play both ways and get near the money. I think on this one, I kind of pushed it a little bit lower there. I could have gotten closer or further out there, but I like this option and where it was, but the thing with 3M, if we go to the preview here, this is what we went over. They are kind of in line. They're like outpacing the XLB material index. They're right in line with the SPY on the last quarter, and it seems like the last earnings, gain of 5, gain of 1, gain of 5, loss of 1. They're kind of all over the place, and we've seen 3M report, and it doesn't always stick. So I said, hey, I know they got a good recovery story. If it goes up, we have it in the long term anyways, but I do think that put around $99, that might be a key level with how it's traded, and I didn't want to expose it too much. So I said, for the sake of saving money there, maybe I'm wrong on it. I decided to go one way. And even though they were a lagger and they're outpacing materials but lagging the S&P, I think it just put it in the right middle there where, yeah, there may be a little bit of downside, but even the upside, it's not like they were trailing too much behind the S&P 500. So I went with one put for $32. So that was the second play. And now for the third play, GE, you could see here I went both ways on it. I grabbed the February 118 puts. I grabbed two of them for 32 cents a pop, spent about $64. And then I grabbed one call for $145. So we'll go to the puts here. You'll see they have a weird history. I think you got to pull it up on the daily to really see where it was at. They were trading a little bit higher, but there wasn't a lot of liquidity and activity. So it's hard to say if these were the prices, but in general, they didn't have too much of a premium. But then if you go to the put or the call, the 145 call, you could see it was kind of high, trading higher throughout the day. The day before that, though, it was trading lower. Once again, as some of these stocks start going up, this has changed the premium. That's what makes it so interesting. And now GE, they have been on an absolute tear. This is why I was willing to pay $100 both ways. It has moved a lot in the short term, even in the long run. There's a lot of room. They have had a crazy recovery story. And when we go to the preview here, they're up 20% in the last quarter. S&P's up 13. Even industrials, GE is outpacing all of them. It's pricing in a fairly big move for the company, but if things were going to go crazy, maybe it moves double that. We would need a 10% move on this, but the last four earnings, gain of 6, gain of 6, loss of 2, and then gain of 1. Pretty much the last couple of quarters, they have been pretty juicy for them. It has a nice gain up here. I thought I could justify it both ways, and then I was able to play both sides for $100 and even get more than one contract on one way. I thought this one would be a good one. So this was the one I spent the most amount of money on. We'll see how this one plays out tomorrow. Then the next one was RTX. And this was another one that I liked because RTX Raytheon, they also had a big back and forth off the last earnings. We profited off of this one on shares last quarter, if you remember. It was a huge move, but look at their last earnings. You just see the gaps and the pops, and then it's kind of staying pinned here. Even over the year, you bring it up on the short term. This thing has not moved at all this year. It's like it's waiting for earnings. So I wanted to get involved in that one, and then when we ended up looking at what was expected there and how it's moved, the last two earnings, gain of 7, loss of 10, that was up there. They're up 17%, while the S&P is up 14 and XLI is up 14.5. They're kind of trailing along and maybe waiting for earnings. So that's why I was like, all right, maybe we go both ways because it's hard to tell if it's really going to catch up or fall behind because this is all just going to depend on if they have earnings. And with them being in this recovery story, announcing this, announcing that, they have the potential to really drop a bomb and hopefully surprise more than 4.1% move. You double that up, we're looking for an 8% move. That's like right in the middle of the last two earnings. I think that one is possible, so I decided to go both ways on that, and we got the put, the $90 or the $92 call. Let me see whichever one shows up first. I got to click it. Okay, the put. We grabbed the $79 put, one of them for 23 cents. And what I didn't like about these were a little bit expensive over the last couple of days. I guess they were trading higher. Nobody traded them till today. They dropped, and we ended up buying them later in the day when the stock was dropping. So we had to pay some of the premium, but then you go to the call. I don't know if it was the same situation. They all went up. These were the ones out of the money. So in all honesty, I do think this option chain kind of sucked because you got that day of or the day before movement. But given how the stock is moved, I do think an 8% move might get us near the money there. So grabbed a $92 call, one of them for $28, and then a $79 put, one of them for $23. So that was our third play. And then the next play that we got, was that the fourth one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So that was the fourth one. The fifth play that we did, I did end up doing a drop box. This was a news play. Spent $50. It got clapped, but we'll see how that one plays by the end of the week. But as far as earnings, I did Procter & Gamble next, and this one was very interesting. The only reason why I like the play that I got was because recently it was there. They are a value name. They don't go too crazy too often, and that's why I only went one way, $35 for the 155 call. You can see Procter & Gamble, I mean, it's not like they have the earnings gaps. It's kind of stayed pinned. I'm just hoping that they get some sort of big move there, and then you could kind of see they're underperforming. That's why I like the call side, because S&P is up 9% on the quarter. They are up 1.3. XLP, Staples are all doing good. Procter & Gamble not so much, but then last four earnings, 3%, 3%, 3%, loss of 3%. It doesn't really move much, and they're literally pricing in a 3% move. So I figured, hey, if they do a 6% move, they do have a earnings that gets them out of there, and maybe this is the beginning of the year. They even come out with yearly guidance as well, and then they start talking about things going better. They could catch up to the Staples in the S&P 500. I like that idea, but not willing to bet too much on it. And like I was just saying, those contracts just a couple of days ago, they were going for like 90 cents. Same contracts that would get this earnings here, even the start of last week, or again, if you go back to last Monday, they were around like 80 cents or so. I figured, hey, I could justify it, bought one of them for $35, limit the exposure, and we'll see what that one does tomorrow. But that was the fifth play, and now the final play. This one, I think we're going to get the earnings tonight or tomorrow. They are European, but they moved a lot, and I didn't really like this one because two standard deviations in this case was a 20% move. The stock was literally pricing in 10% for the earnings. It says, where is it? Actually, it doesn't even say that. We had to do the calculation ourselves, but it was pricing in 10%. The last four earnings, it has moved 10%, 12%, 7%, and 3%, and they are up 32%, while most of the Europe stocks are up by like 8.8. They have gone absolutely crazy, so I just did one put to the downside. They have been outperforming. If they do bad, a two standard deviation, 20% downside, that's the only way I see it moving down 20%. They surprise to the downside. Maybe after a bunch of good earnings reports and going crazy. I don't know how a blowout will make them go up. There is upside. That is what was attracting me there, and it would have fell within there, but I said, hey, contracts are expensive. In this case, the contracts, I really did think they were expensive because pricing in 20%, even if it's $30, that's just a wild move. So you're kind of paying a lot of money. I figured, hey, I want a little bit more of risk, but we'll control it, and did one play for one side for $35. So those are all the plays. Hopefully you understand it. And again, if you're like, well, why did you pick these prices? Go to that tutorial. But like I'm telling you, the real process, if you want to understand it too, day before, day of earnings, we're going ahead, going through these determinations. Also, you should be learning outpacing, underpacing, kind of showing what people are expecting there. We're going for the contrarian, or if we think it could go both ways, we are getting both sides, and ultimately making sure we have exposure without spending too much money. So Chattadonia, I really hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. I'm definitely going to make a follow-up. We're definitely going to be doing all of these live, but now that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydra Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, a little bit of doubt, always normal, baby. And make sure that you don't ever discount anything creative. Finger to the sky. You know what I'm saying, baby? So stay in the game. I love you all. I will see you in the morning. Good luck. And hopefully this all works out. Horn.
This is driving me insane. To make a lot of money, you don't need to be a genius. You just need to remember a few key things.
Ramit Sethi,
financial expert,
the money man,
New York Times bestseller.
has more than 20,000 documented success stories. This is your chance to never worry about money again.
You can live a rich life regardless of where you came from, regardless of your income.
How many people are clear on what their rich life looks like?
Less than 1%. When I talk to people who have a spending problem, 100% of the time, they always say the same thing. I just need to earn more. If you doubled your income today, do you think your problems would disappear? No.
Some of the stats I pulled out from your book, about 25% of people who make $100,000 a year plus are still living paycheck to paycheck.
Makes us realize that maybe the things we think we need are things that we have been socially taught are important. For example, owning a house is the best investment. It means you are successful, but it can be a very bad financial decision. There are far better, far simpler investments.
So I've got £100 that I want to invest. Where do I start?
I love that we're getting into the nuts and bolts. Let's do this exercise together, and everyone can do it with us. First off, and then...
Got it.
Now there's just one more thing you have to do. Do you know the math?
I would have 736,000 in my account.
Yeah.
Ramit's 10 money rules.
This is where the real wealth is created.
Number 1. This episode changed my perspective on money. I'm an investor. I've been investing for the last 6-7 years at different levels. Big companies, small companies, the S&P 500, funds, you name it. But Ramit changed my mind. He changed my mind on money, spending, investing, and he changed my mind on something that I think 95% of you that are listening to this podcast and that are about to listen to this need to have your mind changed on too. That if you have the right philosophy towards money, the right perspective and mindset towards money, then there is a path to living our rich life, to becoming rich, that enough people are not talking about. He debunks the myths of money, the limiting beliefs about money, and he confronts all of the unhelpful advice about money that stands in the way of you becoming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. Since we went over the I hope you had a wonderful day. If you're watching this and it does not say live at the bottom of the screen, unfortunately, you're watching the recap. The good news is we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. You're on mobile. Press high chat. X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Sissin main channel. First link for the Scream Alerts boot camp and real estate course. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tuesday of week number 4. We got a lot that we have to deal with, but we want to see, are we going to hit 3 days in a row of record highs? The market a little bit back and forth with earnings, believe it or not. There was some bad earnings. There was some decent earnings that came out. Not too much of movement. You did have activity out there in Japan, and then the bond yields and the yen moving around, but then China came out of nowhere there. They announced some stimulus. Jack Ma is alive, and apparently he bought $50 million of Alibaba stock in quarter 4. Yeah, you got China plunge protection. People are still kind of doubting it, so we're going to find out really what happens. But all in all, it's still the earnings vibe. Do we hit another all-time high? And then we have even more earnings after hours with Netflix and a couple of others, and then even more tomorrow morning, Chatadonia. So I hope you're locked and loaded. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are feeling blessed. But on that note, good morning. How are ya? What's up, baby? How you living, Darty Bird? Tiger Bill, baby. Tim Whitman, Lucky J, Mavis, Laker J. Oh, good morning, baby. What up, Lori? What up, Cam? Business, Najee Wolf, baby. Nepal, Anzel, Pixelated, T. Grider, Battleborn, baby. Mr. Ben Stone, CYB, Candy Upton in the house. Anzel, Sungrown, Matthew Orman, Rigo, baby. Good morning. What up, Nash? What up, David? El Chapato, baby. 10% Alex in the house. Daquan, Prince Stone, baby. Oh, Mr. Nepal again. Ari, Kevin Rogers, baby. Chris, Agent of Chaos, Jose Lima, baby. The Red Bull, Gary Avari, Ernest Baskin, baby. Javier Alexander, good morning. What up, Monica? What up, Carissa Hines? Oh, good morning. Oh, Benny Silverio. Good morning, Christina, Winnie Lozer, Nathan, Tony Garlinger, baby. Good morning, Juancito. What's up, Map family? How you living, baby? What up, Rice? What up, Pirelli? Tim Action, Dinosaur, Rodney Gibson, Godspeedy, Big Jamar, Pear, Open Face Sandwich, baby. What up? How you living? Jason Rowe, Trey Cush, Daniel Kim, Raymond Diaz, Kurt McGirt, John Wayne, G-Unit. Oh, the White Afghan Inland Empire, baby. Good morning. How you doing, Axel? How you doing, Alaskan Assassin? Good morning, Floor Slayer, Caballero. I know you got a lantern. He got that badge and the lantern. What's up, Ray? How you living, Panda? Fofef, taking flight. Jesse Ramirez. Good morning. Oh, my gosh. Steven Solar. I was like, what is it? Solar like the sun. Solar. Good morning and welcome, baby. What up, Red Bull? How you living, guys? Speedy Vic, Kyle Hensley, Mr. MP, and Ali. Ali. You know, that's, man, I love that. You know, that's one of my favorites. Oh, no, Marcus Hanlon ready to go? Good morning, baby. I hope you guys having a blessed Tuesday. What about the Twitch? What about Pie Express? Mr. Belvedere, Ripping Snipe, baby, Infestin, Feed Me Seymour, Lizzie, Nikki on Smash, KJ Lemur, 12, Jimin, baby. Good morning, Professional, Senkow Hustle, LV Lover, Dennis, Azif, Feed Me, Charlie and that Tree, Pinelander, JG Industries, Throwing Salt, T-Toxie, Universe's Favorite, Slizzin, S. Jones Jacks, Most Dope Andy, Mr. Jacob, 333, You Nanny, Ryan, Uncle Nick, Mr. Belvedere, Ryan Curtis, Blowin' Doe, Angelus, Big Carly, Ibex, Pingo, Lizzie, Most Dope Andy, Blizzy B, and Robo Handtech. And don't forget about Uncle Nick, baby. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Oh, bro, I had some German-ass food yesterday. I forgot what it's like, a hash brown. Oh, I was supposed to tell y'all, my Europeans, you were supposed to let me know if I was on point with it. Oh, man, I forgot what it was called, though, man. It's some Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen, friend. Guten Morgen. Baba, yeah, Alibaba, your boy Jack Ma. He bought $50 million. Everyone was like, he bought $50 million. I was like, he's alive? It's hard to explain. I don't know. So we'll see what's up with it. But Chatadonia, I hope your morning is good. I hope you are feeling blessed. Let's see what Tuesday brings. We had, again, out of the earnings plays too, man. 3M looks good. We got robbed on GE. That shit was in the money at one point, and then it bounced up. So we're going to see how some of these play out, man. We're going to see how some of these play out. But at the end of the day, it should be a wild one. It's still only Tuesday. So let us get into the news. U.S. futures tick up as earnings take center stage. Stocks kept to small ranges ahead of a slew of company results that should offer insight into the state of the global economy. Futures on the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 edged higher. United Airlines, Verizon, and Johnson & Johnson rose pre-market as earnings topped estimates. Procter & Gamble slid on the back of lower than estimated sales with high prices weighing on consumers. Netflix, which made its first big move into live events by announcing a deal with WWE, is scheduled to release results after the close. Investors will also be watching for the results of the Republican presidential primary as voters in New Hampshire head to the poll. There's no sign so far of a U.S. recession, and that's what fourth quarter earnings season is so important, said Kenneth Brow, strategist at Societe Generale SA in London. Investors will want to see what companies' guidance is for 2024 on consumer demand and profit margins. Equities have broadly shrugged off the Federal Reserve's warning that interest rate cuts are some way off. Instead, they have cheered the economy's resilience even after the most aggressive policy tightening cycle in decades. U.S.-listed China shares also gained pre-market after Bloomberg reporting Beijing is considering a package of measures to stabilize the falling stock market. The Hang Seng jumped by 2.6. Central banks are in focus this week while the Bank of Japan held rates steady. Governor Kazuo Ueda said the certainty of achieving its projections has continued to gradually increase. The language supports the prevailing view among economists that the Bank of Japan will raise points at some point in the first part of the year. Swaps see a 45 probability of a hike in April, with the likelihood rising to 100 by the July gathering. Investors' attention now shifts to the European Central Bank Thursday meeting and whether officials may indicate a start to policy easing. The Stoxx Europe 600 was little changed. J&J fourth quarter earnings beat most analyst estimates as a rally in medical device sales continued and pharma revenue exceeded expectations. Verizon climbed after the telecom company guided guidance for 24 EPS topped the average analyst estimate. Homebuilder D.R. Horton slipped after reporting weaker than expected quarterly orders. Coinbase falls after J.P. Morgan cut its recommendation on the cryptocurrency platform operator stock to underweight. Key events this week, you got the New Hampshire primary today, European Central Bank issuing lending survey today, Canada rate decision on Wednesday, Eurozone S&P and manufacturing PMI on Wednesday, S&P Global PMI on Wednesday, Eurozone rate decision on Thursday, German IFO business climate on Thursday, U.S. GDP initial jobless claims, durable goods, wholesale inventories, and new home sales on Thursday, Japan Tokyo CPI on Friday, personal income and spending in America on Friday, and Bank of Japan issues minutes on Friday. China's rescue package. China authorities are considering a package of measures to stabilize China's slumping stock market as they now seek to stem a sell-off that sent the benchmark CSI index to a 5-year low this week. Policymakers are seeking to mobilize about $279 billion US dollars or 2 trillion yuan, mainly from offshore accounts of China's state-owned enterprises as part of a stabilization fund to buy shares onshore through the Hong Kong exchange link. Meanwhile, India has become the world's 4th largest stock market, overtaking Hong Kong, where some of China's most influential and innovative firms are listed as global capital pours out of China equities on stalling growth and regulatory uncertainty. Bank of Japan holds rates. The Bank of Japan kept investors guessing over when it will shift policy after sticking with negative interest rates for now, while indicating it's getting more confident about hitting their long sought-after inflation goal. The Japan Central Bank maintained its 0.1 short-term rate and kept yield curve control parameters intact at the end of the two-day meeting. While the hold, the Bank of Japan remains its status as a global outlier on policy, as the Federal Reserve and European banks hint at rate cuts later this year. The yen strengthened against the dollar as investors look for signs of when the Bank of Japan will exit the ultra-loose policy. Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda has said uncertainty in the outlook is rising gradually. Red Sea tensions, oil-held gains in the U.S. after UK made a fresh round of strikes against Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. Global benchmark Brent was steady around 80 a barrel after rallying almost 2% on Monday. Fears of escalation are growing as Houthis have vowed to continue attacking vessels until Israel pulls out of Gaza. This is coming after Israel said 24 of their soldiers were killed in Gaza on Monday, marking the worst single-day death toll for the military since the war of Hamas began in October. Companies around the world, from retailers to car makers, are starting to weigh up the impact of profits on long-term disruptions to global shipping and conflict in the Middle East. Boeing woes continue. Boeing travails continue as one of the plane maker's biggest customers says they have lost confidence in Boeing's ability to overcome the ongoing quality lapses that climaxed this month with mid-air emergency on Alaskan Airlines flight. United Air Chief Executive Scott Kirby has been venting his frustrations with management and voicing his concerns over the handling of the MAX grounding. He has spoken with the U.S. Transportation Board over the grounding, which is now heading into the third week. The frustrations of United Airlines, which have been forced to ground dozens of 737-9 MAX following the incident, underscore the pressure Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun and the company's directors are facing. The Federal Aviation Administration, which grounded most of the MAX 9 fleet, is investigating Boeing production on Sunday, double down on the scrutiny of the company. Oh, the Red Bull got some Baba Baidu to the launcher. Oh, good timing, baby. Good timing. Good morning. Earnings gets underway. Tech earnings kick off in earnest today with updates from Verizon Communications and Netflix. Wall Street is optimistic that the streaming giant could beat its own forecast for subscriber growth. The update comes after Netflix's Scott Stuber, who built the firm into Hollywood's most prolific music studio, prepares to leave the company in March. GE, as well as consumer giants Johnson & Johnson and PG, are due to report. Is that one? Well, they already did. Ba-da-bop-bop-bop. Ugh. What else do we have? S&P futures are up by 0.1 in Tuesday morning trading after U.S. equities finished higher on Monday with a big bounce in small caps. Russell 2000 had finished lower for the fourth straight week in the prior week. Treasuries mostly weaker with some curve steepening. Dollar index little change with the greenback better versus euro, but weaker versus the yen. Gold is up by 0.3. Bitcoin futures down by 3.1, and WTI is down by 1. No big directional drivers in play as the market awaits for a ramp up in earnings activity and further signs of disinflation traction with core PCE inflation at the end of the week. Bullish narrative revolves around a combination of Fed pivot, resilient U.S. growth, and stable LDD earnings growth expectations for 24. Pickup in corporate sentiment, room to ramp buybacks, and QT tapering speculation also flagged as supportive. Bears focused on repricing of aggressive Fed easing expectations, lagged effects of Fed tightening, lackluster reaction to Q4 earnings, risk of 24 consensus, China growth drag, and elevated geopolitical tensions. Quiet on the U.S. economic calendar today with just the Richmond Fed today. Two regional manufacturing indexes for January out last week both revealed a deeper than expected contraction. A few notable overseas development and focus. Bank of Japan left ultra-easy policy unchanged as expected, though noted the likelihood of realizing inflation outlook has continued to rise as market continues to speculate on timing of a ZERP exit. Bloomberg reported Chinese authorities are looking to stabilize or mobilize $278 billion from offshore accounts of state-owned enterprises to stabilize the slumping stock market, although the market still frustrated with Beijing's reluctance to embrace more powerful support measures. J&J mostly in line, guided 50 basis points of margin improvement for full year of efficacy programs. Procter & Gamble EPS beat, raised full year core EPS growth, and highlighted favorable commodity cost tailwind. Verizon revenue beat, EPS EBITDA growth in line. GE quarter four results better, but big focus on weak aerospace revenue growth forecast. RTX beat, EPS guided ahead. 3M guidance disappointed, noting quarter one macro headwinds, cautious demand, industrial and consumer trends. DHI net orders, average order price both missed. PCAR beat on record deliveries. Logi beat and raised full year guidance again, though takeaways noted that was expected and company conservative on full year 25. United Airlines quarter four EPS beat and company guided on 24 EPS above consensus despite quarter one headwind from MAX 9. IVZ net flows, performance fees both missed. BLKB announced 500 million share repurchase outside of earnings. Netflix came to agreement with TKO for exclusive rights to WWE's Raw. They're going to get live wrestling on Netflix. Who would have thought? I think they spent $5 billion for it, too. That kind of blew my mind. My goodness. Bank of Japan left policy unchanged as expected, but signaled a growing confidence that inflation conditions were continuing to move in a direction that's supportive of ending negative rates. China government is looking to mobilize $275 billion. China gaming regulator has removed from its website the controversial draft rules that crushed the sector several weeks ago, an action that caused industry stocks to spike. ECB published latest bank lending survey and revealed a further tightening of lending standards while demand for loans continue to fall. The Israeli military suffered its deadliest day in Gaza on Monday 24 with 24 soldiers killed. The United States and Britain carried out large-scale military attacks on Monday against 8 sites in Yemen controlled by Houthi militants, according to the country. The strike signaled that Biden administration intends to wage a sustained and, at least for now, open-ended campaign against the Iran-backed group that has disrupted traffic in the vital international sea lanes. A top U.S. regulator has pushed back at banks' claims that stricter capital rules will increase borrowing costs, saying that lenders could always cut dividends and buybacks instead. The comments from Michael Soom, acting director of Office Comptroller of Currency, are the latest shot across the bow to banks, which have complained for months about regulators' plans for stricter rules under so-called Basel III Endgame. Bill Gross has some advice for the Federal Reserve. Stop winding down its balance sheet now and start cutting interest rates in the coming months to avoid a recession. Sanofi agreed to buy U.S. biotech Inhibrx for as much as $2.2 billion, giving the French drug maker a potential therapy for a genetic disorder that affects lungs and liver. The acquisition of the latest string of small and mid-sized deals of Sanofi looks to double down on innovative medicines and reduce reliance on blockbuster asthma medicine Dupixent. And then China President Xi Jinping vowed to amplify ties with Moscow during a meeting with Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin. As the two sides continue to deepen relations, the Chinese leader said the robust resilience and the cooperation was demonstrated by bilateral trade hitting its annual goal of $200 billion a month last year, according to state-run China Central Television. That's it. That's all your news right there. That's all your news so far. Not too bad, honestly. Not that many headlines. Again, the earnings, there wasn't anything too crazy. Again, GE, that one was in the money, then fell out. Otherwise, I think 3M, that might be our hit out of yesterday. And then again, we have all the ones after hours, but you still got some more plays here. So let's see what we're working with. UAL up off of earnings, 6.2. All the other airlines are up as well, too. Endeavor, they are up by 6.1. TKO Partnership and Netflix Sympathy. Verizon up by 5.2 off of earnings. RTX 4.2 off of earnings. Enphase, Truist Upgrade up 4.2. FWMK 3.7. IoT 3.6. FTNT 2.7. WDC 2.5. Cantor Fitzgerald initiates overweight. Eric 2.2 earnings. NOK 2.1. Eric Sympathy. Rivian up by 2.0. Halliburton up by 1.9. Netflix up 1.8. WWE Broadcasting Partnership with TKO. First Solar is up by 1.6. Procter & Gamble 1.5 off of earnings. WRK 1.5. Tiva 1.5. Jeffries Upgrade. PCAR up 1.5 off of earnings. Bro up 1.4 off of earnings. TKO up 21%. New long-term partnership with Netflix. And The Rock appointed to the board. Added to City Focus. Rock the Dwayne Johnson. So you know like Kevin Hart's best friend. Yeah, he's added to the TKO board. Rumble is up by 18.0. Follow through Barstool Sports Partnership. BGC up 10.2. CFTC approves FMX Futures Exchange. Nova is up by 6.7. Truist Upgrade. CSIQ up 5.7. Subsidiary Recurrent Energy of $500 million capital. INBX up 5.4. Sanofi to acquire aggregate transaction of $2.2 billion. DNLI up 5.4. Zuo 4.8. Goldman Sachs Upgrade. ALIT up 3.8. 17 million share offering through Bank of America. AU up 3.7, FOR up 3.5 for earnings, Lucid up 3.5, Run 3.2, Joby 3.2 agreement with Hilo Holdings to install first air taxi charger in New York, ACHR up 2.8, SoFi up 2.8, Outlook 23.6. They had news of a private placement and then a new trial for the FDA for 90 days. I think they're up 40 now. VT up 19.3, Swivel 17.1, Vate up 16.5, Fun up 15.5, FSR up 9.1, Business Update, MPU 6.1, PYXS 5.5, Lyric Partners initiates outperform, ANIX up 4.9, ABSI 4.3, NLOP 4.3, China ADR all up. KWeb is up by 4.2 on the new stimulus, and then Bob is killing it because Jack Ma. Logitech down 7% earnings, 3M down 6.3 earnings, DHI 5.2 off of earnings, GE down 3.2 off of earnings, Siri 1.7, Wells Fargo downgrade, CRH 1.3, SYF down 1.1 off of earnings, Dropbox 1.0, LMT down 0.6 off of earnings, J&J 0.1 off of earnings, NOV down 4.4, IVZ down 4.0 off of earnings, BE down 3.0 off of Truist downgrade, Bill down 1.7, Wells Fargo downgrade, BLMN down 1.6, JP Morgan downgrade, AGM PNC down 1.6 off of earnings. CXM down 1.5. VRM down 43.2. Discontinuing e-commerce operations, winding down used vehicle dealership. INO down 20%. NCAC down 16.9. Conditions not yet met to close merger. DEC down 10.8. Snowcap short report. SGMT down 7.2. CCCC down 2.5. TNYA down 2.5. And Bitcoin stocks all trading lower, with Coinbase receiving a JP Morgan downgrade. Not bad. I got a couple plays. I'm going to be watching 3M, RTX, and then GE, as well as Tesla and Netflix. We're going to get ready for that on today. BABA and all the China names, then Outlook that did make the list. And then don't forget about Intel. That's another earnings play still there. Otherwise, we are going to be watching a lot of the plays we were already riding out. So, Chattadonia, I hope you're ready for it, but I'm going to take a bathroom break. I'm going to go get me some water as well, too. And then we are going to return with more plays, and then the pledge, and then the bell goes ding-ding. So I hope you're ready for all of it. Happy Tuesday. I will see you in a little bit. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity and BRB.
The bond market, or is it just too soon to get the bond market really to blink? Do we just trade 375 to 325?
Order filled.
So we do think that there is some near-term risk to the upside, especially in long-term yields, if the fiscal conversation becomes front and center again, which it clearly was last early August when there was the Fitch rating downgrade. We had Treasury refunding announcements much punchier than expectations. So if we have a return to expecting perhaps a Republican sweep or a Trump as president again, then you might see some loss of confidence again around the fiscal side of things, especially for investors outside of the U.S. And one of the big differences in the potential Trump presidential campaign this year versus in the past is that yields are objectively higher around the globe, which means that non-U.S. investors have opportunities to put capital to work at pretty enticing yields, not in U.S. Treasuries. And that is something that we see as a meaningful short-term risk, as many clients are positioned for yields to remain pretty range-bound in the near term.
The one thing I want to close off with both of you, Winnie, let's start with you, which is we simply are not really pricing any kind of a hard landing. There is this narrative, soft landing, 1995, no landing, etc. But hard landing, we just finished a conversation with JP Morgan Asset Management. They're ascribing 35% probability to a hard landing. Is it in your cast of characters, or what percentage would you ascribe to a hard landing? Winnie?
So we have a hard landing in the 15 to 20% probability range. But I think even more importantly is we have the potential for a stagflation type outcome also in our cast of characters. And that to us is the worst case scenario.
I haven't heard
for
stagflation in a minute. I ain't heard stagflation in a minute. I ain't heard stagflation in a while. Chattadonia, how you living, man? Bright and early. Good morning. They talking bonds. They talking stagflation. We got some earnings. And now it's your turn. Now you're up, baby. What do you got for me? Chattadonia, the market opens up in a little bit. What is your first play of the day? Let me know what you're working with. Post it in the chat, baby. Oh, Bruce B, the Tiger Man. Let's go. FSR shares, Datadog puts, Baba calls, Snow calls, closing Logi puts, Tesla puts, Young calls, SoFi, long stagflation, long Baidu for the long, Snow, IWM calls on KevDog, Tesla calls, Apple. Honestly, I don't know what to play. MES long, Snow calls, Apple, 0-day PDD, FXI shares, add in the long term, ChargePoint, CL, AMD, SPY puts, Baba calls, Tesla calls, UPS puts, AMD puts, exit the losses, PayPal, Coinbase, shorts, Buenos Dias, SQ, SPX, Save, NXF, SPY calls, ADM puts, all in on SoFi, ChargePoint call, Disney call, 3M shares, AMD, let's get ready to rumble. Baba calls, Bart calls, Snow looks juicy, TNA shares, Netflix 2025, out on 3M puts, sitting on hands, up for the long term, sell my house calls, SPXU, ADM, Snow calls, ADM, Block, IWM, Zim, Tesla calls, Bradley, Frizzle and the Peach, Bill and Chill, BB call, all in on AAL, sitting on my hands, Neil calls, Tesla puts, Tesla calls, Rumble shares, thoughts on Snow, RKLB, roll into Baba, Pfizer calls, Peloton shares, Royal Rumble on Saturday, GZUS shares, Jesus, selling 200 ADM shares, closing calls that I got slapped, buying Rolls Royce dip, March SPY, Baba calls, Peach calls, holding 424 QQQ, catch the AI, Pokemon, having more fun, Netflix calls, QQQ, Snow longs, NEXCF, Tesla calls, Enphase, and the final plays. CLO. Tessie calls, Mara puts, coin shorts, and Apple puts long, baby. Let's go. Wow, very good, Habibi, very good. I tell you my play already. I look at 3M, RTX, Tesla, Netflix, Baba, Outlook, Intel. Oh, DWAC there. I mean, it is New Hampshire. I think DWAC may go crazy tomorrow, depending on the results there. So, again, we still got some of the politics lurking around. But, Chattadonia, that's all the plays for now. We got the bell coming in a little bit, but we got about 1 minute. 1 minute before the pledge. If you have any questions, if you have anything, you let me know. If I could answer it in 60 seconds. Other than that, man, just get ready. We're going to be monitoring all of the plays from yesterday. I'm mad. I wanted the GE to hit, bro. That one was like, we had the first candle, then it instantly got bought up. So we'll see. But that 3M random play, that was a BBWI from yesterday. I think it was a February 19th put. Buy more Logi puts. We'll see what they're valued at. Again, they dropped. But like I was telling you yesterday, the problem I had with Logi is that it was pricing in 10%. So even though it's moved down like a big amount, I don't know what those puts are going to do. So they do have a little bit more of time, but, we'll see how it all plays out. So it'll be interesting to see there in the morning. Boeing, I think, is still going to be in a world of hurt, but it's going to take some time until the next update. And then that moment, it can move those contracts around a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, there's something more important than all of it. Here at the Cult, baby, before we do anything, before we try to chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has sacrificed more than most of us ever have and ever will, and I am talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the Cult, the people here, the people not here, I want to give a huge special shout out all the active servicemen, past servicemen, anybody who has served this country, even their families, for real. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for making the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for doing it, whether or not people appreciate it or not. Y'all made that commitment a long time ago, and y'all held to it, and y'all did it with honor, and we have so much respect for you. All I got to say is shout out to the vets, baby, and God bless all of you, and thank you, and I encourage all of you to always show that love and appreciation because they deserve it, baby. So God bless you all, and big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, all the doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the garbage men, the coaches. You helping out, giving back to your community, baby. Keep it running. That's what I'm talking about, and that is much appreciated as well, too, baby. But, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Send the Jets! Oh, it's game time, baby. Horn, let's go. Oh, it's game time. You ready? Good morning. Bright and early on a Tuesday. Oh, man, if this was like 2016, we'd be like, it's going up on a Tuesday. No, okay, it's hitting all-time highs. I don't know if that was, okay, if we could justify. Anyways, you guys do want to know the question in mind right now is, do we hit 3 days in a row of hitting a new all-time high? So remember, we hit a new all-time high on Friday, and then now we hit a new all-time high yesterday. So the question is, do we do that again here today? So we're going to find out. We are going to find out. So you got about 1 minute and 30, man. That's enough time to like the video, to make sure you're subscribed. If you do have any questions, let me know. We will be monitoring all of those other plays that we're in, and we will be going over more earnings today as well, too. So keep that in mind. Yeah, crypto plays are all knocked right there. Again, JP Morgan gave them a scathing downgrade. They were saying that the ETF is going to make like Coinbase not do good. Then they all got clapped. My real question here, too, is if we actually get like BABA and the China plays holding up. So again, there's a stimulus in China. They're trying to recover things, and then Jack Ma bought $50 million of BABA in Q4. Do you think there'll be China stimulus? Does that represent a bigger problem in the market for the next 1 to 2 years regarding inflation? Nah, because if China, in a weird way, China could help with inflation, but if they could actually give us some cheap items and recover, but their stimulus, ironically enough, $280 billion is not enough for that country. So in a weird way, China is getting stimulus, but it's a very, very small sink at any economic problems, and they're not really doing it. So believe it or not, people are still kind of disappointed with that sort of stimulus effort. It's kind of crazy to say, but 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. Rumble got Barstool. Yeah, that was the news yesterday. I think there's more confirmation, and it's continuing. Oh, WDC, they're opening up hot right there. Was that ON? So what do we got here? Logitech puts, they went up. The bid is up, and so is the ask, but not anything crazy. Oh, Procter & Gamble calls went up? Fuck me, no way. They might come down. Hold on, those PGs went up? What's PG at? Oh, I guess PG might go in the money. You're $2 away from that. PG wasn't up like that. Yeah, so PG 30 cents to $1 now. That one's actually working there. And then the ONs, we got those. Where are the other ones? Logitech, you got almost 100% on that. And then where are the other guys at? VZ, those are dead. RTX, those are dead. 3M, you have those went up too. Those went up 300% to $1. 3M ask is, dude, the spreads are crazy. What the hell? So yeah, the spreads are very, very crazy on that. I like the PG though. If that one actually could hold up, I'm kind of down with that. And then 3M now $1.50. That's 500 there. 400, 500, not too bad. And then how much did we spend yesterday? We spent 280. So if you get so if you sell 3M and Procter & Gamble, you'll make all your money back. I do like 3M for the long term. DHI and then Logitech too, if we want to hold that. So 3M might go in the money, and we'll see how that one plays out. They're down 8. Procter & Gamble still going. Logitech kind of bouncing. SMCI, big cheat clay. And then NASDAQ down, and then Russell's killing it again. So thank you. And then RTX, man, that one sucked. And then GE, we almost got lucky on GE. That's what sucks about that one. The RTX, the calls want to go up, but they're still kind of tripping out there. And then 3M, you are now in the money. So that's good. They're down 8% right there. All right. Bro, these spreads are messed up. QQQ, Peach Nation. Oh, we got Bradley Frizzle in the peach. Oh, my gosh. I just saw peaches all around. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I almost missed it.
Target filled.
Oh. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bradley Frizzle in the peach. We have been blessed. We have been blessed, bro. Are you serious? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wait, why isn't that not working? Oh, wait, that's for the next week. I was like, how come these things don't have a value? I'm tripping out. I am tripping out. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. That's glorious. That's glorious. RTX starting to run up. I feel like they're going to scam me on these. Let's see. All right. 3M, yeah, 3M's killing again. We have a week of time and the PG. Yo, PG is in the money as well, too. So we got multiple hits on these. So, again, you could either sell one or sell all of them, but we are doing pretty decent on them. But I don't know. The 3M, they might scam on that. That's the only issue. Which one? Oh, I'm on the wrong expiration. Again, the Procter Gamble, that one's 30 cents to $2 as well. So it could get pretty decent there. And then if RTX, I don't know where the Logis are at. I got to double check those. J&J, they're trying to come back up. RTX is up 130. Really? All right, hold on. I'm looking at a couple of these. There's so many plays. Yeah, RTX is up. You got 68, $20 to 68. I like the Procter Gambles. Where's Young Logi? I guess Verizon is the only one that didn't hit. Verizon and GE. And GE we spent the most amount of money on. And then the Logitechs, no, those came back down, unfortunately. Bro, that 3M, though. That one was just at like $3. That's why I was liking that. And then those ON contracts are weird from the other day. And then Procter Gamble, you have $1 in the money. So let's see how this one plays out. And NVIDIA saved straight up. And NVIDIA Chicle. Were these all earnings? Yeah, we did all of these live on stream. So you have at least like 300 or 400%ers or something. Bro, what is up with this? Yeah, bro, those 3Ms, they like want to die, but they also want to hold up there. That bid is tightening up a lot. So we'll find out how it plays out here. When do they have ex-dividend? All right, I don't want those to fall out. Tesla looking for 215. Did Logi come back up? RTX, okay, we might get lucky on that one too. Baba, is it still going up there? Oh, yeah, we're back green on Baba after that. After that whole little mess. I guess we'll take it, man. We will take it. And then, again, Procter Gamble, I'm really liking that one for now. And then ON, with the ask is just up, but nothing else is moving. And then the Tesla plays went back up, too. I forgot about that. Tesla has earnings. So Tesla's up 2.5, finally. Pinduoduo dumping. Yeah, they're only up by 0.7. Baidu finally rocketed up, so thank God on that. Again, Baba is going crazy. Archer Daniels on the high. Remember, they had bad news there yesterday, so they're still kind of holding up.
Stop, Phil.
PayPal's going up there. Microsoft, Neo. Did the Verizon hit? Oh, I guess Verizon, you got double. No shit. Dude, did all of these hit? Am I tripping out right now? So Verizon, we're a little bit away. But Verizon, 11 cents to 20. These all kind of hit, I think. Holy shit. Not bad, bro. I think GE was the only one, and GE was in the money, and then it tripped out on us, unfortunately. You did what? We did all of these plays on stream. So, again, I made a video on it yesterday. We explained the process. But we did 6 different option trades for $280. And now I think we have like 400 to 600 back on all of them, depending on when we exit. And then honestly, I mean, these all have another week. That's the crazy part. So if there is more continuation, we might get a little lucky here. All righty. UAL up 9. Yeah, that was one we didn't play. That one ended up killing it. And then where is PG? PG's in the money by a decent amount. If we could get a breakout on that, actually, that could be nice. I'd say it's just a matter of when this all stops. Then where's the market? We've just been edging down here. Edging down to start the morning. And then RTX working its way up. All right. I'm going for 1080. Let's see. So many of these.
Order filled.
Okay. Bob, I still got to put up Bob. I'm trying to get out of these options. I'm trying to see, but it's kind of, oh damn, Bob is at 222 or $74. All right, they scammed me on the 3M. I got out of the 3M for $220. We bought that one for $30, so just under 1,000%. But I want to make sure we get our money back from yesterday. But we've literally one play recouped most of that money there. But I sold out early. You could give it some time. You guys might get a little more lucky now that I'm out. Well, that's one gone. Let's see. Baba's hitting another high right there. RTX even starting to break out. So let's see. RTX, they didn't do that good. Ironically enough. Damn it, RTX, they still got a little bit of upside. We're not in the money yet on that. We'll see. Save running. Which one else is there? Procter & Gamble chilled out. Again, we have Tesla doing good. We got 220. Verizon's trying to chill out there. Which one's that? Okay, I sold the Verizon for $27. So that's getting us a little bit more back. But no more Verizon.
Target filled.
Even though that one's $1 from the money. And again, you still have one more week, but we're just getting our money back. And then everything else will be profit whenever we sell it. But I got 27. PG call at the top is good, man. I like the Procter & Gamble one. I kind of like. But I think that one's already chilling out. And then we still have what? The RTX. What do we pay? We paid 20 cents for the RTX. Almost at $1. And then the Verizon's kind of coming down. Okay, I sold out of the RTX. I got $85 for that. So now we've recouped all the money from yesterday and a little bit of profit. And then you have the PG and the Logi still. And then the PG's worth like $150 right now.
Stop filled.
PayPal 65. The Rock on CNBC? No way. He's on TKO board now. Oh, man. Those RTXs keep going up, though. So it's good. So took a couple of the plays. You don't have to do them in this order. Honestly, what you should be doing right now is pick the plays that you want to hold. Pick the ones that you like. Try to get your money back if that's the case. Otherwise, you could even keep pushing all of them. Remember, it's all up to you. But it's in terms of pricing, I hope you guys see that one we did very good on all of these. Procter & Gamble's coming down. That's the one I'm holding. So maybe I made my mistake by holding there. We'll find out. But in general, hopefully you guys are already seeing the price points and every 3M was almost 1,000%, just under. I don't know if it's going to keep coming down. And then again, Procter & Gamble, that one's like, we got a lot of 500 percenters essentially. That's what it seems. Even RTX was like 400 or 500%. How aren't you in the money? I got a 92. So we went further out of the money on there. But those are coming up there. I sold out of 85. You could get 86 on the bid to 95. It's totally up to you now at that point. But like I said, it's whenever you want to sell it. And sometimes one little sell in time could get you a lot. But at the very least, I just wanted to make sure we got our money back. So remember, yesterday we spent for every
Order
play.
Submitted.
We spent $280. And now I've gotten back 300, 320, 330 back already. And then we still have all the value of the other plays. So maybe something turns around, but we have the Procter & Gamble and the Logi left. So maybe we get lucky on there. Logitech, you could just get your money back, honestly. That's the crazy part. Baba coming down. So Logitech dropped 11, but literally your contract is break even. It moved as expected. Save is above 9? Oh? No way. That's kind of crazy. Wow. Nice. Yeah, we have 55 on the shit. I think our covered calls are still up. No shit. This one is crazy.
Order filled.
Wow, just a wide spread. Yeah, save is going nuts. Why the delta on Loggy was super misleading. That's why I don't really need the what's it called? The Greeks. That one you should have just known Logi was going to be like that just because at the money it was pricing in a 10% move. So that's why I was saying that, like yesterday, I was saying that was my least favorite, but I liked it in a way just because I know the stock could move, but we knew that one was going to be expensive, right? And then RTX still going. Maybe I did sell out too early. 3M is dying. So again, I cut out early. I wanted to get my money back. I'm putting it all on PG for the most part, so we'll see how that one ends up. And then we have a Verizon put. I forgot about that one too. 3M. And the options are February 20th. Yeah, and it was Logitech. You did have a couple 100% at open, but I would have liked to hold it for a little, but even in general, I wasn't expecting much out of that one. RTX is going up now. Oof. Leaving some. Left already a couple $100, I think, on the table. Or at least maybe another 50. Because I don't know where the 3M, because the PG dropped, and then the other ones went up. Save going back to 15. RTX 9130. USO on the high. For the 3M, I banked on it. It was a good play, bro. It was, and then that one, thankfully, we only went one direction on 3M. So that was just $30 to a couple of hundred. Again, even RTX was a low-key sleeper right there. Ghetto play for the Tesla play is in the green now too. So Tesla pre-earnings, you have 130 to 170. It's like 30%. RTX keeps running up here. Where's GE? That's the one we need. I forgot. I still have value on the GE. No, that's the other play where those just died. You could get back $20, but those 118s were in the money and like briefly in the morning. But no. And then PG still chilling out there. Where's Pfizer and Baba? Pfizer came down. I'm surprised Pfizer's not having the ex-dividend move. And then Baba is coming down as well, too. I don't know about the rest of the China plays. Baidu's finally back up. I needed that one. I didn't even look at the dollar. It's all good. No worries. I'm excited, though, man. That, again, all of these earnings plays, 2 standard deviations has been doing awesome, bro. So, again, as long as you get your money back, hopefully you guys see it, man. We played 3 weeks of earnings, and it's all paid for at the at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then if you hit one, like, again, TSM really puts you over the hump. The Nikes, the FedEx, a couple of those, man, they just start adding up. So, at the end of the day, as long as we're able to get a lot of exposure in this environment, I hope you guys are learning, and I hope you're keeping it cheap, too. That's the best part about all of it. So, yalla. And then bonds trying to go up. Intel dropping. Again, that's another earnings play that we got to keep in mind. I'm liking that one a lot. So we'll see how that one plays out. There's Boeing. RTX, bro. Oh, my goodness. They got me on that one. $19 to 225. I'll take it, right? Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I don't think 3M's earnings were that bad, but like we talked about yesterday, they were kind of in like a weird spot, outpacing. They went up a little bit. All other material, they were outpacing materials. So I think they kind of came back there. Definitely think I butchered RTX. That one could end up being really fire. I hate RTX. I have RTX trauma from the past. What was it? February 2nd, 92.5. Yeah, those went up to 130, 140 now. Those are for, I sold at 80. So left almost another 100% there. But not bad. RTX computers? No, that's AMD I think you're thinking about. RTX like missiles. Which one was it? Got 27 on Vrisa, 85 on RTX. I got to write these down. Yeah, RTX, those are now up another 100% from the sell. My goodness. Those are 400. A lot of 400, 500%ers on all day today on all of those plays. We will take Procter & Gamble trying to work its way back up. And then I think we're done for now. That's it. I think we now ride out the Teslas for today. Those are coming back. ON is coming up. And then SPY above VWAP. I haven't even taken a look yet. Let's see where we're holding levels-wise. Oh, wait. I don't have any levels. It's just all-time high. Again, I do think 4868 or 4870. That could be another one. Save is still running. We have a good gain, honestly. We have almost $1,000 on Save. So, again, that's almost our full investment there. And then with the covered calls, we do have $1,000, I believe, if we get a profit. But those are starting to turn. So now RTX is in the money. And then 3M going lower, so maybe a little holding would have been there. Abivai up today? I don't know. They're at 0.39. They're just holding. I'm surprised Pfizer's getting knocked on XDivvy. AMD's on the high now. SMCI. Very small range. Small range, and then a lot of these earnings are just all over the place. I do hope GE comes back down. That one, I hope we get lucky on that. RTX. That one's a killer, bro. That's it. You're in the money now on those plays by 30 cents. I sold out way too early on that. Hopefully the Verizon, that one, that just did its thing. And then 3M, you're even getting more money back on that. So like I said, if you optimize these, they go crazy. I'm trying to just get my money back and then keep one to push. It's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And so far, even holding a little bit longer here in the morning, you would have made an extra 100, 200%. You're holding the 3M. Well, good luck, man. Good. I'm glad all of these hit. That's very rare. I was only expecting to hit one of them. So in this case, you had 4 out of 6 hit. The 5th one, you could have got back 100% in the morning, like in the first minute or two of Logi, but I won't count that. And then GE hit in the money, but then bounced up. But 4 out of 6 is insane. We shouldn't have hit that many. So even though you didn't get 1,000%, you got 4 out of 6 500%ers, which is nuts. But then again, we have all the rest of the plays now till next week. So we'll see where they take us. Yeah, Verizon's killing it as well. And then SPY above VWAP. Where's Big Tech? Even Apple's up again. Microsoft's still in the red. And Tesla just gave up those gains. We had that for a little bit. Russell gave up 0.5. Yeah, damn, that shit was up by 0.9 earlier. Indeed. It did give up some. AMD is just all over the place. Just running up there. It was red at like 2%, I think, and now it's almost in the green. Same thing with NVIDIA, I guess. And then again, ON, the one that we hate, is still holding up. I don't know. Will this thing pay out? Ex-dividend for Save. I don't know. Save, I really didn't think they have a dividend. I figured it was coming from a... Isn't that like part of the dividend from the JetBlue deal? So I have no idea what's going on with the Save dividend, but in general, you could sell out now too. I mean, if the covered calls still have a profit, you're going to walk away with like $730. But I do kind of want to wait till 15 or the 1250, whatever we're at. But I'm shocked Save is already at 9. That's nuts. Uber going up. Where's BNB? Airbnb 2 days in a row. AMD is now in the green now. Snap coming down. Where's China? China's still holding up. So not too bad. Again, even Baidu. J&J dropping. PG holding. GE, you could dive for me, please. Thank you. PayPal's coming back up. Remember, PayPal was up 4 yesterday and then sold off. Microsoft, their earnings is next week, right? So we're going to look at all of them. Again, we're going to go through all the earnings today, too. So if you guys want to stick around for that, it'll probably be later. I might have to make you hear the good word of the Lord first, but either way, we're going to have some more earnings today on the schedule. But I don't know if there's going to be as much. I think tomorrow morning you'll get some, and then today, after hours, is going to be all about Netflix and everybody else. AMD. Yeah, Netflix up 1.3. So, again, they're running off of that TKO deal. Meta, watch your boy if he wants to go all-time highs. Again, I just be watching China, watch some of the small caps too, see if those are like your real leaders for the day. Can you go over options in Fidelity? Oh, no, man. I've even doing the covered calls on Fidelity. I hate it, but I don't like use it for options. So unfortunately, I would, it's easy to find the chain, but like it's easy to make the purchase, but I just watch on stream if you're not willing to download TD Ameritrade, because you could get TD Ameritrade for free. So I don't know, like if you just go download Thinkorswim, you could get this all for free and then ask them for real-time quotes, and then you could just use the option chain. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to use Fidelity, but Fidelity's options are hard. So anytime I do the covered calls, I hate it. So like using Fidelity, it's kind of been a bitch, bro, in terms of options. Alibaba, he'll come back for us. But like I'm saying, though, too, at the end of the day, we're doing all of this live on stream. So whatever info you need, even down to the damn play itself, I mean, if you are watching and you are in tune, either come here or get the stream alerts. It's up to you. But, I mean, if you are watching live, you should be able to get all of it, whatever you're lacking there. But just go get Thinkorswim. That's the easiest answer, because I hate fucking Fidelity options. Yeah, it's very confused. It's like you have to like click it and then like refresh it, and then it shows you like a bunch of them. I'm like, what is happening, man? None of this make any damn sense. RTX chilling out there. Procter Gamble. Amazon. All right, Procter Gambling, not as much. Amazon starting to run up. Low G die. GE is the one, though. I'm so mad that one's not working, because that one was dead in the morning. I need him to die, and I will be a happy camper, but I'm still pretty chilling with it all. Verizon, AMD, Johnson & Johnson on the low. Again, their earnings wasn't too hot. Who was the other one? Oh, DH Horton, DHI. Would DHI have hit? I didn't like those plays. I thought they were a little too expensive. Remember we talked about those? What would it have been? Was it like a 141 put? I don't think. Would the DHIs have hit? Disney dying. It's funny because if the market starts dying, I feel like Disney's going to come up. But yeah, they're kind of doing the PayPal from yesterday. The PayPal's coming up. Richmond Manufacturing in 2 minutes.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Redbook came in at 5.2. Interesting. See if bonds actually move, and we'll keep an eye on the dollar. Premiums drop. Well, everything was kind of just juiced up there, bro. I didn't think a lot of these plays were going to move, and then literally right at open, they just made crazy candles. So about 1 minute. Yeah, Redbook came out 2 minutes ago. 5.2, I think a little hotter than last month, and then just below the last couple of months. You'd think Redbook would. I feel like Redbook would have had a bigger reaction than Richmond Fed, but let's see. Okay, 45 seconds. I don't know if Richmond Fed will move us. We're looking for -15 and -20. On shipments, -20. The actual index. Whoa. Did I say 4? United States Richmond Fed services at 4. Previously at 0. And it came in at -15. So came in line, and then services did very good. Interesting. That was the first, in the last year, you've only had 4 positive service prints, including today. Manufacturing was negative, but services popped up. So again, maybe bonds might catch a bid on that one. Because then that could just mean, again, services is more inflationary. But then again, I didn't think we're going to really react too much to this data. And then dollar is up by another quarter. But everything in line, and then services surprise to the upside. Hot services, manufacturing weak. And Amazon still up there by 0.10. Tesla. Come on, Tesla. You can do it. Intel down 1.1. VIX dying now. VIX barely up or barely down 0.3. SMCI waking up. What's going on with this? My goodness. And then AMD, SMCI, and AMD. Both of those are on the high right now. Yeah, what was it? Or TKO? They did very good on the Netflix deal. Dude, they're getting paid $5 billion. I feel like Netflix could have bought a lot of things for $5 billion, but they're like, nah, we need the fake wrestling. We definitely think it's, like, that's where we have to start. And then ON, those ON options are going up, even though I didn't really like them. And then Tesla, we're still green on the Tesla options, believe it or not, but those ones keep whipsawing as well. It's the viewers, their audience is loyal. I guess so. That's a great deal for them, bro. Oh yeah, it's not even Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Whipsaw Tuesday. Top Tick Tuesday. And then RTX, watch as that one comes back up again. PG still holding. 3M still dying. So everything's just holding. And then VZ. Yeah, I sold out early on that one, but that one's starting to work up. VZ breaking out. Yeah, TLT, I feel like the services is affecting it. BABA's even working its way back up. So watch the China plays and watch the small caps. Those are 2 leaders here. RTX came down. It's still doing great, though. I just sold out early on that one. But that's it now. The ball has been passed. Whatever you do with it now, y'all got to put points on the board. I said, I'm going for the 2. I went for the 2-pointers. Went for the 2-pointers, and I got 1 3-pointer left in Procter Gamble. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hit the 2. I gotta hit my 2-pointers. I'm gonna pull up on Procter Gamble, and then maybe if we could get a turnover on GE or a turnover on Logi, and bring that one back, that'd be nice. That one would be nice. PayPal still going up. Watch Disney, too, if that one could flip. SPY getting red candles down. PayPal, that one's starting to go back up there. Verizon. RTX shares for the long term. I would, but you should have bought them last time we flipped them. I do think RTX is kind of, again, if they turn around at any moment, you're going to suffer on that one. But it is a good company. But, like, the time to buy them was even before the earnings, too. Because, again, what are they up right now? Another 7. That's a big amount. And last earnings, they had a move like that, too. PayPal breaking out again. SPY doing nothing, man. Just right below VWAP. Save going up. PayPal's going up. Save is just right at that $9. It's either going to flush from here or it's going to fucking break through that 9 and get it. Because $9 is a pretty big level, all things considered. I want to say, isn't that, yeah, that's the low. $9 is the low from, like, right before the run-up and drop. But remember, when we bought it and it died, it flushed below 9. It fell, 30-40% below there. So very interesting. And then SPY just trying to dance around. Bonds up since Richmond Services. There is PayPalian. Procter. Intel calls came down. I forgot about those. And then 3M hitting another low, 9% down. Yeah, dollar is up by that one. I don't understand how the market this is making the dollar even more strong on the year. Dollar is literally the strongest asset on the year. Yeah, 3M was a bad earnings. It wasn't the best, but it was definitely below expectations that people, because again, remember we were talking about it yesterday. Analysts were on the high end of 3M. And then at 3M was outpacing materials and then just moving with the SPY. So 3M, another flush there, 97.15. PayPal, BABA at 74. Dude, this is higher. So again, remember last time we bought BABA and it went up. It didn't even get this high. So a break of 74 will be good. 3M. I can't believe Pfizer, though. Pfizer, no love on X again. You have one more day till XDivvy? Interestingly enough. Maybe because the earnings? You think it's worth this sell-off on what? On 3M? No. But I do think it's kind of coming back. That's like, I think 3M trailed with the market. Don't forget, 3M was kind of guttered, and then 3M kind of like outsized benefited off of all of the upside. So I think it'll eventually recover, but like I was saying there, it's still, I think they're just kind of matching up with other names in the sector. Logi is so illiquid. I think it's because it's European, but other than that, so just hold that play and ride it out or get out for break even if you want. But I wouldn't trip on it too much. Remember, this was pricing in. What happened on Logitech was literally priced in. Logitech is the perfect example of Wall Street watching a car accident and being like, yeah, it's priced in. Because literally those contracts were just up by so much. And they were, again, 2 standard deviations was 20%. Like, they were expecting a 10%, this 10%, 11%. It unfortunately did not shock the computers. Again, 3M, we killed it. All the other plays, I mean, they were all pricing in a smaller amount of money. Remember, we were going over 3M on the watch list yesterday. They were pricing in 8%, would have been 2 standard deviations. You got your 10 there. That's why it's sitting right under 1,000%. I don't know. Let's see. No, it held that 100 pretty good to the downside. DWalk dying. Oh, young DWalk. Why didn't you hold Verizon? I just wanted to get my money back on that one and then make sure I'm walking away with a profit, and then I could ride out Procter & Gamble. So it's one thing about the plays, but then I'm also playing everything else. So that's how you guys got to do. This time we have 4 plays that hit. So realistically, what I did was I wanted to get all my money back, and then I wanted to see which one I wanted to gamble on and push. So in this case, I got rid of 3M at just under 1,000 there, maybe like 500 to 600%. Verizon was a slow mover, and we were out of the money. I said, hey, let's add to the stats, and then sold out of RTX with a good 400 or 500%. It's making sure I'm walking away with money. So I walked away with like $300-something. We spent $280. I can't lose on anything. I'm not walking away a loser. So if I play more plays today, I'm not going to be on a deficit. And then now I have the Procter & Gamble, and that one's doing good. I think Procter & Gamble, we're right below $200 on that. That one just keeps dancing around. So at this, I suggest you do the same. Not a recommendation, but you literally got to pick which ones you want to hold, or you gamble and hold all of them. But then from there, you determine it. So in my mind, I was going after the ones that were gaining because, again, even Verizon, that was up a couple of 100%. So I said, hey, we'll just take this slow mover, this small mover, get a little bit of money. I should have held RTX for a little bit. That could have got me literally another $100, which would have been good. So it's just like at this point, what I would be doing is making sure that you don't lose. Why? Because we're already winning, and if we don't lose, we can now play the other plays and make sure that we keep getting exposure without exposing ourselves to risk. So at the end of the day, this will be the next week in a row. We're not going to walk away with a loss, at least up till Tuesday. It depends on what we play tomorrow or today, but I'm making sure I'm walking away with a guaranteed amount of money. So, and then again, I'm gambling on Procter Gamble, and that play is up to 179 to 180. If we really wanted to take something out of that, we might be able to ghetto spread that. Never really thought about that. I don't know how big of a gain it'll be. I don't think it's worth it. Big money, big money, big money. Gambling on Procter and Gamble. Funny how that work. It's like the name has encouraged it. Again, remember Procter Gamble that's the one that only moves 3%. So to get the 5% is kind of funny. Yeah, PCE on Friday. Even GDP on Thursday, though. I do think some people are kind of giving a outsized focus to GDP because the last GDP was hot. So depending on how that plays out, it'll be interesting. TDY, 3M still at the bottom. Where's Bank America? And then Discover, remember, that was one that we had gains on and we gambled and didn't really do good. Thanks for the calls. Today was very good. I'm glad, man. I hope yesterday's work was profitable, and I hope you guys learned from it. That's why you guys liked the video. So now today I want 2,000 likes or some shit. Otherwise, I'm going to just do all of these earnings plays in my head. Yeah, what now, son? You better like the video, man. It's free 99, bro. I told you, they going to try to sell this shit to you. It's all free 99. Oh, man. The earnings plays, we're going to do them after I talk about Jesus. Which, again, if this was like a church, they would talk about Jesus, then ask you for money. So, in this case, I'm going to make you listen to a philo, and then we're probably going to get into it after philo, because then I'll play, what's her name? Jan Psaki's replacement, Corinne, and then I'll queue them up like yesterday, and then we'll go through all of them. Kind of want to do both ways on Tesla. I'm only on calls for Tesla, but again, I hope the number one thing though, I really hope you guys can think. I really hope that as we go over these, let me know your ideas and plays too at the same time, but you have to make a determination on your own. That's the thing. You have to make your own determination above all else. So just because I go one way doesn't mean you can't play both, but you see it. The one I played both ways on, the one I spent the most money on, GE, that's the one that didn't fucking move. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's one thing about what you want to play, but also keep in mind your budget. That's the thing I could tell you, because playing both ways is going to cost you more money. And when you spend more money now, you're going to have to make more money back to break even. SMCI is on the high. Saw that one just running there. And then GE's trying to break out a little bit. Baba, Ball on the high. Ball in. Baba. Snow ripping. A lot of people like snow. Snowflake. Yeah, Snowflake is up by 1.7 going into the highs. ON is running. The play I fucking hate is up. I didn't like that play at first, but it's honestly not doing too bad. Bond sales top 293 billion in Europe's busiest January ever. Yeah, dollar looks hideous. Dollar, the number one asset of the year, man. Still unbelievable. Oh no, where's Airbnb? But we're doing nothing today, man. SPY barely up, NASDAQ barely up. Russell's still the outperformer, and then the Dow is down. Save it. Went over 9 for a little bit. Now it's coming back down. Yeah, Outlook, they got I'm kind of worried, though. They got a private placement, and I think I read something about it I think it might require a reverse split, but then they got a 90-day trial from the FDA that kind of speeds up the timeline. Remember, we were wait until the end of the year. So it's good news above all else. They raised money, and they don't need that money will be for the trial, and then they got a sped up trial. But I think that's the only issue there. Yeah, RTX, I think it fills its gap at like 92. That's like the other bottom gap from the other two earnings, I believe. Do you average down on options you're holding? Not usually, no. Rarely. Usually if I ride them till they die. So if I make a play and it fails, you either ride it out, or if you are going to double dip on it, go for a better option. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't really, why would you want to double down on the same option when all that chain has changed? You know, go get a prettier option. Don't go out with your ex-girlfriend from 5 years ago. You want to get the option closer to the money or with more time and hopefully closer to the money. The dollar is 3% from all-time highs. I mean, it has a way to go to all-time highs, but I don't think I don't know if is it 3%? It might be. I don't know. Needs a little. I think it's like 10% off from the highs. I'll have to check the DXY. DraftKings breaking out. SPY waking up there. And then GE is now about to go green. I don't know if we're going to get anything on that. That's the unfortunate part. Yeah, your GE calls and puts are wrecked. DraftKings big rip. SE on the high. DraftKings up too. I mean, again, $38, $40 will be big. McDonald's down by a quarter. USO, oil's on the high again. GE keeps running now. Procter & Gamble wants to go. Premium burn. All just depends which ones. Everything is. They made good moves off the morning, though. Cannot complain about that. PayPal still up. Disney still getting clapped. Or is it TKO? Snowflake's just running. Again, a lot of Chads love Snowflake. I feel like a lot of Wall Street likes Snowflake. I mean, they are breaking out here. So, again, isn't there earnings next week? Baba at 74 is really good. I'm telling you, that one, I didn't really realize it. But remember, last time we made the move, it couldn't get above 74. So I do think 74 opens up to like $75. That gets, and then again, 75 holding could hopefully get us up to higher levels. But 74 leading into 75 is what you want to see. I love snow. Yeah, look at I say Snowflake, y'all go crazy. Everybody loves Snowflake. I don't really like the snow anymore, so I'm even more deterred from it. But I just don't know what they do. My average on Baba is like 73.60. So remember, I bought in. I thought I bought in low, and then it came down. Oh no, 74? No. Why did I think I got in at 73? That's bullshit. So I guess I'm still down on it. I guess that was me. I was at 74.60. Oh, I'm an idiot. I thought I was high. I thought I was lower. No, so I still got a ways to go. But I bought that the other day on one of its previous lows, and then it just flushed with all the bad China news. Baba pays a dividend, but it's small. It's only like 1%. The other day it was at 2%, I think. No updates on New Hampshire primary. It will have an effect, though. That could affect the dollar, though, today. So, now that kind of makes sense. Again, I think it's kind of a weird analysis. I don't know if I believe it 100%, but there has been a correlation. It's hard to tell if that's the reason, but like anytime the dollar has been coming up, it's Iowa and New Hampshire. Like this Trump I think is affecting the dollar a little bit. It's hard to ignore, but it's also hard to say that's the only factor when every other currency around the world is making way bigger moves. So, but the dollar is going up. But that's the only thing I'm looking for out of New Hampshire. And then again, I'm sure everyone's going to get hyped up on Trump and whether or not he will be if he crushes Nikki Haley or not. People are even talking about Biden too. Do people even? I don't even think Biden's on the list. People want to see if how many like write-ins Biden gets. Very interesting. Why would Trump be affecting the dollar? Because the odds of a Trump presidency increasing, that could have a weight on the dollar into next year. So again, just like the bonds, the dollar, you're looking a little bit ahead in terms of the future. But if your boy Trump comes back into office, I mean, there's a higher chance of a stronger dollar. Gold, at least gold is holding up with the dollar. That's the interesting part. Yep, Netflix is today. We have no plays on it. I don't think I'm going to play Netflix. Or if I am, I don't know. It's pricing in so much. I hate it. I feel like Netflix is going to play out like Logitech. So again, remember I was telling you the reason Logitech reminded me of Netflix. So Netflix is today, but like, dude, it's an $80 move for 2 standard deviations. That's insanity. So you're paying $100 for a 20% move. Somebody brought it up. Was it Patrick yesterday? He said a debit spread. Maybe you could do a debit spread on it. That I could maybe get behind. But even like you could sell a 420, buy the 400, still give yourself $2,000 gain potential if it goes 20%, but then you're still spending $100 on that. Only for a week. This is all for a 1 week play. It's expensive as shit. That's the only thing. The only maybe if they do really bad and surprise to the downside, it moves more than 20%. But you could play, but it's just expensive. I'm not saying like I think Netflix is gonna move a lot. It's not like I'm saying Netflix isn't gonna move. I'm saying Netflix can move 10%. Netflix can even move 15%, and some of those options will be break even tomorrow morning. Does that make sense? Just like Logitech. Our Logitech is break even right now. And that stock is down 10%, 11%. You can do a credit spread, but then again, it's like, do you really want to do a credit spread and then it has a crazy earnings? Like, I don't really do credit spreads for it. Actually, I have done it on Netflix before. That was like a couple of years ago. I think we made like $2,000 on a credit spread on Netflix, but it was scary. But maybe. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, I think the easy answer is just don't play it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys are getting creative. You're like a calendar spread, a credit spread. We could do this, we could do that. But I think if you really want to take the risk, you sell the premium. Otherwise, the answer is just don't play it. You play it afterwards. That's it. It's expensive. The computer is already accounting for every sort of outcome when it's all said and done. And like, you're not getting anything cheap. That's at least in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I want to really risk it in any way, shape, or form on there. We're going to have a lot of earnings plays today, or at least I'm going to go through them. NTNX, AI on the high, RTX at 92. Money. 3M coming back down. Money. What's the other one? VZ. That one's still holding up. And then Procter & Gamble, too. We're 189 to 178. You don't seem that enthused about the Chinese stimulus package. Would you say that changes the ABC sentiment? I think it helps in the short term, but unfortunately, it's like, I guess, it's like when you're like, it's like your crackhead friend telling you he's not going to do drugs. Of course, you're happy for him, but you just don't know how long it's going to last.
Target filled.
So I don't think it changes the ABC sentiment, but it's just like, it's not a big enough change. It's like Hunter is, I feel like we'll still find Hunter in rehab, unfortunately. Oh, SPY, decent candle. U.S. issues fresh sanction. Nope, I don't think that's it. Decent Raul. I mean, we just haven't moved much. That did bring down the Russell as well, too, and that has been your leader. But that was 4 points. I mean, you're right back to, I guess you're filling. We gapped up. I didn't know there was a gap to even fill. No cause on that. Are we holding 3M? I mean, I sold out of the put that we made money on, but for the long term, once again, I mean, asking me if I'm selling out something in the long term, that's like asking whose cocaine was in the White House. You already know the answer. What you know? Maybe I could have gave a better analogy, but you know. But long term isn't going to change for 3M. But we made again just under 1,000% there, or whatever, however many hundred on the puts. Buy more 3M for your divvy goal. I could, but there's only one problem. I already spent the money, so I have to wait a month. So I would want to buy. That's why let's give it a month. Let this play flush out. Let it do its thing. But it is a higher yield. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But unfortunately, I bought, what's it called yesterday? Pfizer. So that's that's the only issue with the divvy goal. I have to be mad patient. And then there, finally, Pfizer's coming up, asshole. I was like, why is this thing even dumping today? I was like, X-Divvy. Usually Pfizer runs like right before Divvy, like heavy. Phase up over 100. Yeah, Jack Ma bought 50 million of BABA. That's what let it up there. 3M's about to flush. Bonds are flushing now. BABA's still trying to make the 74 move. I'm holding the Tesla call till after earnings, yes. Any of these option plays, and we've put this out, multiple tutorials even yesterday. I did make this aspect very clear. By balancing the budget and not spending a lot of money, that is why I am holding these plays. Does that make sense? So by making sure that I'm not spending a lot of money, the reason is so I can take the risk on the earnings. So a lot of people are asking, are you going to sell out before? Are you going to do this and that? It's like, dude, most of these plays are cheaper. Now, Tesla, granted, is more money, but because it's a bigger stock, but I am only spending in an amount that I'd be willing to lose completely by waking up and finding out that it cucked and did nothing. So the general idea is that all of these, you should be willing to spend a little bit amount of money, but I'm trying to play the actual earnings, and I'm trying to do so with a small amount, but keeping it small is the reason for it's kind of an acknowledgement of the risk. You sell your earnings so fast and it goes up after 1,000. Well, I sold plays early. Like, look at 3M dumping. I could have made more money on that. I think you would be at 1,000% right now on 3M. I sold that one early. I sold RTX early. But what's your goal, right? So, like, I did sell early, but I completed my goal. I got all my money back with profit, and now I have one play that I could even push. So that was my goal, right? So what is your goal when you're selling out of these plays? You have to ask yourself that. So it's like, are you just selling out for what reason? Are you trying to recoup money? Are you putting an emphasis on getting your money back? Are you putting an emphasis on high gains, right? It's like, if your goal is I want the highest gain possible, don't sell shit. You know what I'm saying? If your objective is I don't want to lose money and I want to make sure I minimum get my money back, or I want half of my money back, or you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of space out your objective and then go after that. But if you go after the goal, I mean, who cares? Like I'm saying, I got all my money back. I'm in the game there. I don't really mind, because now I still have another week to push a play that is literally already in the money. Tesla just be running 50% in the morning and coming down. And then you bounced off of that random cheek lay. BABA is a play for the long term. Yeah, we added that at the beginning of the month. I'm still technically down on it. I really thought I was in at 73, but I guess it was 74. Scammers. And then we added Pfizer yesterday. I took an early deposit to get in Pfizer in the ex-dividend. GE's running now. Assholes. VZ hit 42. Yalla. Good luck if you still holding, baby. That's beautiful. I think ours are 42.50, but those should be going up a little more. Likelihood of Pfizer cutting dividend. That would be awful if I just keep getting into dividend cuts. But then again, that has been the theme of this year. And then Pfizer has a way more, I feel like they're more willing to cut their dividend than not. They don't even have like a crazy, like in 08, any sign of trouble, they've cut their divvy. But then again, I don't know if that would admit more trouble for them when they're trying to, I feel like they're trying to be like, hey, we're not that bad. Ronald is hard to fight. Oh, dude, McDonald's, dude, it's the worst. I literally hate shorting McDonald's. And it's like the best short, too. Because when you actually short it, it goes down and, like, you love it. But, nah, man. It's not there. Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. McDonald's, dude. Oh, no, dude. Definitely different. That's the thing. McDonald's, when it hits, it works very good. But if not, you're going to just regret it. I'm speaking from experience. A lifelong of regret shorting McDonald's. IWM slippery. It is coming down. Again, the Dow is down. Even the bonds. Again, the dollar is up today. So with earnings, it's, again, dollar's up by 0.4, bro. Dollar's hitting a new high on the year. Absolutely hideous. Where are the rate cut odds? We haven't really talked about that. Rate cut odds, they came down. So more rate cuts are being priced out for December. IWM on the low. Unusual activity. DWALK 100 calls. Wouldn't be surprised. Again, I do think, I don't know how DWALK will play out today, but literally if that mother effer wins the primaries. Wait, how is there I don't even see DWALK options. Or they just, oh, there you go. I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh, these things are insane. Yeah, someone just bought 5,000 DWALK 100s. Or I guess that's just all day today. People are piling into those. Bro, those DWALK plays are insane, actually. Big hit on 3M. Thank you so much. Good morning. Oh, if you just woke up now, too, and you didn't touch any of the plays, you're loving it. Those should be 1,000% though. $3, I'm assuming, on the 3Ms, or just under 1,000 because you bought them at 35. Yeah, but if you just woke up on that, you're loving it. 288, actually 250 to 288. They're kind of cucking those. Those should be up a lot more. $3M, just the earnings wasn't as good, and then like we talked about yesterday, they were kind of outpacing things. And then analysts had a high expectation. So if anything, analysts thought 3M was going to beat. Remember we were talking about that yesterday. I pointed it out to you. I was like, analysts are on the higher end. So the company gave a range. Analysts thought they'd do better, and then they ended up doing worse. And then, they were moving with the S&P in terms of recovery, but they were outpacing materials by like 6-7%. And Logi's going back up. GE still running. Procter Gambling holding. SPY hit a new low there. I think we filled the gap. Yeah, again, I didn't realize there was like a baby gap up, but yeah, you kind of just filled it, or you wicked into it. I mean, still at 48.50. My goodness. Yeah, dollar's killing it. Dollar's the problem. Small caps went red. I see Russell's still up, but I think they're about to. I mean, SPY's red, NASDAQ's about to go red, and then Dow's just holding, but they were red earlier. The Intels are coming back down. The puts are still down, and then the calls are barely up. Yeah, the calls, I see you got like what? Almost 20 cents on those? 15? They still got like 30% on the calls. We were previously up 100. And then the puts are washed. Was that dollar up at 0.41? And then 3M, another flush there. That's going lower. Netflix running up here. Yo, Netflix, big pop. Again, they have earnings, but that's popping like something's coming out on there. You love making money, but get sad when you sell early. I sold my 3M. Wish I had. It's okay. We're going to move on from it. We'll have more plays. But like I said, what was your objective? What is your goal when you sold? That is the best advice I could give anybody. DWAC, the warrants were halted. But as long as you meet your objective, that I really wouldn't trip about it. Because like I'm saying, as long as we, like in my case, the way I'm looking at it, as long as I get my money and I put myself in a position to keep winning, I'm going to be able to play every other play. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of earnings. This is the early part of earnings season. Let me say that to you again. This week is only 70 companies. Next week will be 150. The week after that will be 180. And then there's going to be even Powell too. So as long as we're not losing, and as long as you're having an objective, and then again, you need to determine, are you trying to make the most money as possible and you don't mind the losing money, or are you trying to get yourself in a position where you want to recoup your money or not? Netflix partnership is old news. That was in the morning. Yeah, it's confirmed, but that's from like an hour and a half, 2 hours ago now at this point. That was like bright and early. And then The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, joined the board of TKO. Yeah, the 3M put, I think it's hitting $1 or $3 now. Again, $96. So I sold out at $220. So I left my money on the table once again, but that's money there. I think you're going to be at 1,000%. The spreads are fucked up though on it. Yeah, 99s are at 320 on the ask. That's right around 1,000%. Coca-Cola on the high. McDonald's. Ronald is fighting back. Procter Gambling. $1 because of Japan. It was down at first, though. That's the crazy part. So Japan was, Japan was surprisingly hawkish. And then everyone's like, nah, we don't believe them. And then it flipped, as always. All right, there you go. Baba. We're coming back up there. 74 on Baba. That's good. It's priced in. Kev Dog here on Tuesday. We thank the silent service. Welcome to the doghouse, baby. Tell him, Kev Dog, how you living, man? Good morning. Toll drop in, SPY at the low. And now I need to go to the potty. Follow me on Instagram, baby, at the Trading Fraternity. I love you all. I hope you're doing good. Shout out all the option trades. And I will be right back. Show some love. Like the video, man. Don't be shy.
Of copper. What's the point of trying to mine copper to green the world economy?
Remind me. I need to show you Biden in a second.
Copper?
Remind me.
So the problem is there aren't very many places where you can build a green new copper mine to put into your Tesla or your microwave oven or your washing machine.
Well, the thinking is that, of course, as we think about that backdrop, that mines are going to increasingly need to be developed in really tough jurisdictions. Of course, you do have a successful track record there. You think about Mongolia, the Democratic Republic of Congo. How does that differ, building a mine there versus Australia or the United States, for example?
Australia and the United States are very difficult jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. There's no easy mining project anywhere in the world. You take the Pebble project in the United States, it's been legislated out of existence by the U.S. government. The Resolution project in Arizona has been delayed for 30 years in a permitting dispute with the San Juan Apache Nation. So even in developed societies, it's very difficult to build a mine. From our point of view, we go anywhere on the planet where we see the best ore and the opportunity to produce metal in the greenest possible way. 99% of the electricity in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is hydroelectricity, which enables us to produce the metal with the lowest amount of global warming gas per unit of copper produced. And soon, we'll have differential pricing in metals. The greener the production of the metal, the more the premium, and the dirtier the production of the metal, the greater we'll have a discount. ABAX Technologies is now starting such a market in Singapore, giving you differential pricing on the ESG characteristics of the metal produced.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about your project in Congo, because that produced almost 400,000 tons of copper in 2023. You're also still expanding the mine as well. How could it get? How big could it get, rather?
We're scheduled to be the third largest copper complex in the world in 2025. And we have our sights set for sure on number 2 with new discoveries. And God willing, it's possible to be number 1. There's an enormous endowment of copper metal. The Congo was the world's largest historical producer of copper until the low-grade copper mines of Chile were invented in the 1960s. And the Congo is now the second largest.
But, all right, it reminded me. Okay, have you guys ever seen the show Young Sheldon? Some of you may have. I talked about it the other day. But there is a character in the show Young Sheldon, and his name is Dale. And it's literally the epitome. It reminds me of Biden. It trips me. I laugh every time he talks. He sounds like Biden. I feel like that's how Biden would act. Everything. Have you ever seen Dale? Bro, Dale, I know, but Dale is Biden. I can't stop. That's it. I can't it's crazy. It's crazy. I love that show. I really do. I've never really liked Big Bang Theory. My girlfriend did. She liked that show. That's why she showed me Young Sheldon. But I was like, I tried to watch Big Bang Theory. I wasn't as into it. But Young Sheldon, that one, I love it. I love it. But Dale, if you ever get the chance to stumble across him, Bond's going lower, man. And then Beto on the high. So is Bitcoin coming up here? And then Google, Baba hit that high, came down. Young 3M is killing it now to the downside. Ba-da-pop-pop-pop. And then Procter Gambling, not gambling. Microsoft, NVIDIA. They're all kind of chilling there, but some more than others. Let's see the breakdown. What are we looking at right now? I'm gone for a while, finding myself, but I'm back, Cole. Good to see you, baby. Good to see you, man. You know, you always got a home here. That's it, but get a long term. Always get a long term. So what are we looking at? S&P 500, 282 red, 219 in the green. Dow Jones, 16 red, 14 green. And then NASDAQ 100, 48 red, 51 green. Today's 50-50. Meta's rocketing for some reason. It hit 389 the other day. But Meta's trying to climb up right now. Yeah, I've seen Suits. Suits is one of the best. Again, Google going up, Meta, couple of tech names. Netflix was running earlier, but it came back down. Tesla is still in the gutter. Again, 3M dying. RTX selling off a little bit, but still elevated. And then Procter Gamble, we're just holding there. Where's Verizon? That's the other play. Verizon's still kind of holding great. Dollar's disgusting, dude. I'm surprised gold is barely up. So dollar is not stable at all, and then gold is still kind of holding, and then bonds are kind of getting shit on right now. Any reason for the bond sell-off? No, not the. I think Japan dollar and yields moving around. That would be the only culprit. I just set off Google to look for Netflix. Oh, my bad. Well, Google was going up, and then Netflix started moving. UAL giving back the gains. Yeah, UAL, they kind of surprised there. They said even with the 737 stuff, they're going to do decent. What would you rate The 100? I love The 100. It's one of my favorite shows too. My girlfriend doesn't like it, but I'm like, you're insane. I think it's because she knew I had a crush on, what was her name? Olivia? What was the girl? Octavia? I told you, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Back in the day, I DM'd Octavia. I was in love with Octavia. And then she kind of a little crazy, but that's a good show, man. That's a good show. Microsoftian dollar, dude, a dollar on the high. Let's check the DXY out. Commodity Forex DXY. I'm taking a look at the dollar right now. So again, can I overlay it? You guys should see it. So again, if you're wondering, like with the bonds too,
target filled.
They look kind of the same. So like that's why when I see the dollar coming up to 104, that reminds me of the bonds at like 4.25, or like getting back up here to the lower end or the higher end. So it's like, if anything, they're kind of moving in tandem. That's just with the dollar moving, and then also too the other currencies is getting a little trippy. But dollar's back at what? Right below 104. So again, even from the beginning of the year, the dollar's up almost 4%, around 3 now maybe at this point, which is crazy. Again, dollar is outperforming crypto on the year. Dollar's outperforming stocks, even though we went up and we're hitting all-time highs. Dollar is the number one asset, which is actually insane. So even as everybody's buying equities, your cash is kind of getting you a gain, which doesn't make any sense, because if you wanted to buy equities, you're getting less, but it's only in 7 names. So that's what kind of speaks to the point where, like, some of these cheap names, your dollar is strong, right? When you look at the underperformers right now, your dollar gets you a lot more stock, unless you're trying to buy NVIDIA, AMD, or SMCI, or, go down the list of culprits. Market realizing the dollar is up more. Everybody knows it, but it's just going to be kind of where it settles. Does that make sense? So, again, we know the dollar's a problem. Rate cut odds going the other way. We know it's a problem, but it's where things are going to settle. And, I mean, what's the theme of today? Let me ask you that. So there's another theme of today. Anybody know what it is? It should be obvious. You made money off of it. What happened? Think about it. Take a second. Down, 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 down. Earnings, baby. Not the Republicans. Earnings. Your earnings weren't really, they weren't as hot as SMCI, right? The last time the dollar was going up and you're like, what the fuck is happening? You had SMCI, TSM, they were going back to back to back to back. But now today, if anything, you've kind of had lackluster earnings from the middle of the market. Even RTX went up, but that wasn't a good earnings, believe it or not. Again, 3M, that's not really good for the general, materials and other things. Again, UAL was decent, but, they just shocked with the other stuff good. And then Verizon, they were in line, but you didn't get any stellar beats. You didn't have anything go too crazy. China's stimulus is not inflationary, no. If anything, China's stimulus is deflationary. You got to think about it. What's happening in China right now? Their Chinese yuan is getting stronger. They're going through deflation. So if they get strong, what would happen to the U.S. dollar? Our dollar would get weak, right? If anything, you want China to stimulate, because if China could get economic production up, it's going to make your items cheaper. So when we have problems, if we could get cheap China shit, it helps us. That's how we got out of 2008. So in this case, I wouldn't even worry about China. If anything, China is a drag on global growth right now. China is in the group project, and they are not doing shit right now. That's the problem. We want China to pick up the slack so that we can start doing what we want to do. Even Japan and other places, we could get back to handling stuff if China was actually doing better. So in a weird way, China China's stimulus isn't going to inflate anything. If anything, it'll be inflation for China, but they are in deflation right now. Their real estate is crashing. Their production is not going as up. Their growth rate is the lowest in a while. Well, China, that's the thing, though. And China's not, even though it's stimulus, they're not stimulus like they used to. You guys got to realize, like, in 2010, 2012, 2015, China was fucking pumping. They're like, so if you think this is stimulus, I don't even think this is a record. But, like, they used to throw the kitchen sink. They would ban stuff. They would ban short selling like they just did, but they would make it where they were throwing in hundreds of billions of dollars. They were facilitating government programs. They were creating cheap credit. The government would build cities. They were just going left and right, pumping the shit out of their economy.